Dear students, I am Dr. Anil Prasad from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Hyderabad. In this module, we will learn and understand the concept of workers and work participation ratio and analyze the work participation ratio data for all India and states. Further, you will learn in this module the differences in work participation ratios between male and female, rural and urban, and different age groups for all India and different states in 2001 and 2011 census. In 2011, the demographic data was collected through household data schedule, which include questions on sex, age, marital status, work status, etc. We would be focusing on the work participation data from 2001 and 2011 census in this module. As some people must work for the production of national wealth in whatever form they work, they are classified as workers in contrast to non-workers who are not engaged in production of goods and services. Workers are classified as main workers and marginal workers. Main workers. We will discuss about main workers in this module. Workers who worked for more than 6 months, that means 180 days, in the reference period are termed as main workers. Marginal workers, workers who worked for less than 6 months, that means 180 days, in the reference period are termed as marginal workers. Marginal workers are further defractured into two categories, that is, those who worked for 3 months or more but less than 6 months, and those who worked for less than 3 months. In recent Indian census, work is defined as participation in any economically productive activity with or without compensation, wages or profit. Such participation may be physical and or mental in nature. Work involves not only the physical work but also includes supervision and direction given to other workers. In the 2001 census, persons engaged in activities relating to milk production, even for purely household consumption, has been regarded as worker. Further, emphasis on unpaid work on farm or in family enterprise has been expanded by changing it to include even part-time help or unpaid work on farm, family enterprise or in any other economic activity. The same definition was used for defining worker in 2011 as well. In 2001 census and 2011 census, the following question was included in household schedule to extract data on economic activity worked any time during last year, include part-time help, unpaid work on farm, family enterprise or any other economic activity. Though there was no difference in the question canvassed for both census, there was one difference in the response. The question on work status had 3 response options in 2001: main worker, marginal worker and non-worker. In 2011 census, additional code for 2 types of marginal workers, 3 to 6 months less than 3 months was included. Responses are main worker if worked for 6 months or more. Marginal worker, 2 categories. If worked for 3 months or but less than 6 months. If worked for less than 3 months, and non-worker if not worked at all. In 2001 and 2011, further data was collected for marginal workers or non-workers, including a question seeking or available for work, which had an option of yes or no. Such a classification would not only retain the older categorization of main, marginal and non-worker, but would also offer richer data on the period of work and also on unemployment. Work participation ratio. Through this definition, we can understand this is the formula how to know the worker participation. Work participation ratio is equal to total number of workers, main plus marginal, of all ages into 100 by total population. Worker participation ratio for India and states. In all India worker participation rate. This table shows that in 2001 census, total worker participation, males 51.7, female 25.6. There is a huge gap in the female participation in regular work. 2011 also, it shows that 25% of female participated in work. On an average, 53.3 males are participated in the work. Data of table 1 shows that there is a marginal increase in the worker participation ratio from 39.1 to 39.8 between 2001 and 2011. The work participation ratio by gender shows that the work participation rate of males had shown an increase from 51.7 to 53.3 during 2001 to 2011, whereas the female work participation rate had decreased marginally from 25.6 to 25.5 during 2001 to 2011. State-wise work participation rate. Table 2 lists out top and bottom 5 states, union territories by work participation rate from 2001 and 2011. Total work participation rates of states for 2001 show that total work participation rate was high in Mizoram, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim and Chhattisgarh. These states have emerged as the top 5 work participation rate states, union territories, having work participation rate more than the national average of 39.1%, above 46% in each case, whereas Lakshadweep, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, NCT of Delhi and Bihar were among the bottom 5 states and union territories, below 34% in each case. Against the national average of 39.8% in 2011, total work participation rate was high in Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Daman and Diu, Nagaland and Chhattisgarh, which have emerged as the top 5 work participation rate states and union territories of India, above 47% in each case, whereas Lakshadweep, Uttar Pradesh, NCT of Delhi, Bihar and Jammu and Kashmir were among the bottom 5 states and union territories, below 35% in each case. The highest work participation rate is observed in Mizoram, that is 52.6%, and lowest in Lakshadweep, that is 25.3% in the 2000 census. While in 2011 census, the highest work participation rate is observed in Himachal Pradesh, 51.9%, and lowest in Lakshadweep, 29.1%. Female work participation rate increased substantially in Nagaland, Odisha, Jharkhand and Kerala from 2001 to 2011. Female WPR declined from 2001 to 2011 in Punjab, Mizoram, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Meghalaya, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Manipur for different reasons, in spite of very liberal definition of economic activity with a special emphasis on framework. Figure 1 gives the graph on state-wise work participation rate for males and females in India 2011. There is a vast gap on male and female the work participation rate in Daman, Diu, Delhi, Punjab and Chandigarh. Among major states, West Bengal and Haryana have vast difference in male and female work participation rate. Male work participation rate is highest in Sikkim, followed by Tamil Nadu, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Himachal Pradesh. Low male work participation rate could be seen in Bihar, Meghalaya and Lakshadweep. The highest performing states in case of female work participation rate are Himachal Pradesh and Nagaland. Low female work participation rate could be seen in Delhi, Punjab and Lakshadweep. Data of table 3 gives work participation rate for rural and urban India for males and females for 2001 and 2011. All India results we can see here. The rural urban classification of workers shows a higher participation rate in rural areas than in the urban areas. The urban participation rates are less because more youth continue for a longer period in the school system and large percentage do not get employment immediately after entering the employment market. Rural urban differential in male work participation rate was just 1.5 percentage points in 2001, while the trend was reversed in 2011 as urban work participation rate increased by 0.8 percentage. Female work participation rate was a vast gap of 18.9% between urban and rural areas in 2001, and the gap reduced slightly to 14.6% in 2011. In 2001, the female work participation rate is very low compared to male counterpart for total rural and urban population in India. The total female work participation rate is less than half of total male work participation rate, and in urban areas of India it is less than a third. Similar trend could be observed in 2011 census without any exception. State-wise, we can see the result Table 4 and Table 5 give state-wise work participation rate by sex and rural-urban residents for India for 2001 and 2011 census. In 2001, the highest rural work participation rate was observed in Mizoram, while in 2011, the highest work participation rate was observed in Nagaland. The lowest rural work participation rate was observed in Delhi in both 2001 and 2011. For the urban areas, the highest work participation rate was observed in Mizoram for 2001 and in Daman and Diu for 2011. The lowest urban work participation rate was observed in Bihar in 2001 and in Lakshadweep in 2011. In 2001, West Bengal, Kerala and Uttar Pradesh have high disparity in worker population ratio between male and female in rural area. Gujarat, Maharashtra and Uttarakhand have high disparity in urban areas. In 2011, among the major states, the disparity in worker population ratio between male and females is highest in Bihar rural area. Assam and Gujarat have high disparity in the urban area. The analysis of rural and urban work participation rate for males show that Daman and Diu has the highest difference in rural and urban work participation rate, 16.9%, with high urban work participation rate and low rural work participation rate, followed by Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Lakshadweep and Nagaland's rural WPR is higher than its urban WPR by 7.7%, followed by Chandigarh. Female work participation rate for rural areas in higher than in urban areas except in Chandigarh and Delhi. The highest difference between rural and urban work participation rate is observed in Rajasthan, 30.6%, followed by Chhattisgarh, 28.9%. Figure 2 gives state-wise work participation rate for rural population India 2011. Figure 2 shows the highest work participation rate for males in Chandigarh, followed closely by Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh. In each of these states, work participation rate for rural male is higher than 59%. The lowest male work participation rate could be seen in Jammu Kashmir and Bihar, each having less than 47% work participation rate. Among females, the highest work participation rate is in Nagaland, followed by Himachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh and Sikkim. Each state work participation rate is higher than 44%. The lowest female work participation rate could be seen in Delhi, Lakshadweep, Chandigarh and Punjab, having less than 15% WPR for rural females. Figure 3 gives state-wise work participation rate for urban population for India in 2011. It shows that Daman and Diu has the highest male work participation rate with 75.1%, followed by Dadra Nagar Haveli. Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, each state union territory has work participation rate more than 57%. The lowest male work participation rate for urban population could be seen in Lakshadweep and Bihar, each having less than 45% work participation rate. Highest work participation rate for urban females is in Manipur, having 33.2% work participation rate. It is followed by Mizoram, Nagaland and Sikkim, which have urban female work participation rate more than 24%. The lowest urban female work participation rate is seen in Jharkhand and Bihar, which have less than 10.5% work participation rate. Age sex pattern. As the participation in economic activity differs by age and sex, it is useful to examine sex age specific work participation rates. The rural-urban classification of workers shows a higher participation rate in rural areas than in urban areas. This is true for both sexes throughout the age groups. Male work participation rate. Male work participation rate increased monotonically with age up to 40 to 49 years in both 2001 and 2011 for total population. The highest work participation rate age group 40 to 49 years in 2001, 97%, 2011 96.2% for total male population. Highest urban work participation rate age group 40 to 49 years in 2001, 96%, in 2011 95.3%. For rural counterparts, the highest work participation rate age group 35.39 years, 98% in 2001. It was highest for 40 to 49 age group, 96.6% in 2011. Female work participation. Female work participation rate is quite low in comparison to male work participation rate throughout age groups in 2001 and 2011. Highest female work participation rate for total population in 2001, 47.6%, 2011 45.6%. Age group of 35.39 years, rural female population work participation rate highest and similar in 35.39 years and 40 to 49 years, 48.8 years in 2001. While in 2011 it is highest in 40 to 49 age group. Urban female work participation rate is highest and similar in 40 to 49 age group, 23.7% in 2001, while in 2011 it is highest in 40 to 49, 27.5% age group. The figure 4 gives sex-wise age distribution of workers for the 2011 census. It shows that both male and female workers are highest in age group of 40 to 49 years in both the sexes. For all age groups, the women participation is less than half of their female counterparts. Figure 5 shows that the age distribution of rural and urban workers for 2011 census. More rural population is engaged in work than their urban counterparts. 40 to 49 years has the highest engagement of rural and urban population as workers. In conclusion, workers are classified as main workers and marginal workers. Census data shows a marginal increase in the work participation rates For India, between 2001 39.1% and 2011 39.8%. The work participation rate by gender shows that the work participation rate of females had shown an increase from 2001 51.7% to 2011 53.3%, whereas the female work participation rate had decreased marginally from 2001 to 25.6% to 2011 25.5%. The analysis of 2001 total work participation rates of states show that the highest work participation rate was in Mizoram and Himachal Pradesh in 2011. Lowest work participation rate was observed in Lakshadweep in both 2001 and 2011. In 2001 and 2011, the female work participation rate is very low compared to male counterpart for total rural and urban population in India. The rural-urban classification of workers shows a higher participation rate in rural areas than in urban areas. In 2001, the highest rural work participation rate was observed in Mizoram, while in 2011, the highest work participation rate was observed in Nagaland. The lowest rural work participation rate was observed in Delhi in both 2001 and 2011. For the urban areas, the highest work participation rate was observed in Mizoram for 2001 and in Daman and Diu for 2011. The lowest urban work participation rate was observed in Bihar in 2001 and in Lakshadweep in 2011. As age-sex composition shows that the highest WPR age group 40 to 49 years in 2001 97%, 2011 96.2% for total male population. Thank you.